Part 1. What is a habitat?
Hi learners, welcome back. We're glad you're here. My name is Miss Sarah with Auburn Day School.
And I'm Miss Katie.
Today, we are learning about change. We've been learning about change in the water cycle, change with states of matter, change
With living and non-living things.
Exactly.
And even life cycles last week.
Yeah. But today, we're talking about change as in a habitat.
What's a habitat?
A habitat is the natural home of a plant or an animal, kind of like a forest or maybe the ocean.
Okay, so it's like where a plant or animal lives. But what kind of things do we have inside of habitats?
That's a good question. Well, the habitat has all of the things that the plant or the animal needs to live a good life. It has the right temperature, it has the right weather, it has the right amount of water, it has the correct soil, it also has the right plants. Oh, a plant can make up a habitat because animals like to eat plants and animals also help plants to grow. So you have to have the right kind of plants in the right habitat.
Okay, so let's pretend I was a dolphin and I was trying to decide like what habitat I would need to live in. It would be like, could a dolphin live in the forest?
What do you think?
Probably not, because the dolphin has to have a lot of water in its habitat. So a dolphin would probably be better in the ocean, right?
You got it.
Okay.
Now, what about a bear? Would a bear like to live in the ocean?
I think the ocean might be too much water for the bear. The bear might do better somewhere with lots of trees so we can find food and different plants to eat. So the forest might be better for the bear.
I think you've got it now.
Yes.
A habitat is the natural home of a plant or an animal. It has everything that animal or that plant needs to live a good life. Animal Homes, written by Shira Evans. This book is read with permission from National Geographic Kids. Animal Homes. Vocabulary tree. Animals. Bee, bird, bat, fox, deer, bear, spider, rabbit. Animal homes. Hive, nest, cave, den, web, and burrow. Animals need a place to live. Honeybees. Some animals build their homes. Bees build a hive. Masked weaver. Birds use grass and twigs. They make a nest. Other animals find their homes. Some bats sleep in caves. They hang on to the rocks. Some homes are low. A fox lives in a den. It's in the ground. Foxes often make their dens near the base of a tree. Bald eagle. Some homes are high. A bird lives in a nest. It's up in a tree. Some animals sleep in many homes. Deer walk all day. Then they find a new place to rest. Grizzly bears. Other animals sleep in one home all the time. Some bears sleep in a den. They sleep there all winter. Orb, weaver, spider. Some homes are for one animal. A spider lives on a web. It lives all alone. Other homes are for animal families. Rabbits live together. They live in a burrow. There are many kinds of homes. Some even move. Hermit crab. Your turn. Match each animal to its home. Number 1. A spider. Where does a spider live? Does it live in a hive, a nest, a burrow, or a web? That's right, a spider lives on a web. Do you remember what the book said? The book said that the spider lives all alone on a web. Number 2, rabbits. Does a rabbit live in a hive? Does it live in a nest? Or does it live in a burrow? That's right, rabbits live in a burrow. Number 3, a honeybee. Does a honeybee live on a web? Does it live in a nest? Does it live in a hive? That's right, a honeybee lives in a hive. And our last animal is a bird. Where does a bird live? That's right, it lives in a nest. Great job listening today. All right, friends, let's practice a little bit. Remember, a habitat is a natural home for a plant or an animal where it gets everything that it needs to live well. We have 4 different habitats here. We have the forest, we have the ocean, we have the grasslands, and we have a river. And I have some different animals that we're going to see where they belong. This is a picture of a bass. A bass is a fish. Where would this bass live? Do you think it might live in the forest? A fish needs water, so a bass is either going to live at the ocean or in a river. Now, a bass is a freshwater fish, which means it does not like salt water. Have you ever been to the ocean before? When you get under that water in the ocean, you'll taste that salt on your lips. So Mr. Bass would not like to live there. So that means that Mr. Bass would like to live in the river. This is called a yellowhammer. It's also known as a woodpecker. A woodpecker will make its home using its beak. It will peck a hole in a tree. It also pecks on trees to get insects to eat. So, do you think a woodpecker would like to live in the grasslands? Probably not. What about the ocean? I don't see any big tall trees there. Do you see tall trees in the forest? I do too. Mr. Woodpecker would love to live in the forest. What about a dolphin? Whoop. A dolphin probably would not live in the grasslands because as you can see on this picture, there's water around it. I don't know if a dolphin really has enough room in a river. And I also know that dolphins like salt water. Does this habitat have salt water? No. But what about the ocean? Yes, the ocean has salt water. So a dolphin's habitat is the ocean. Uh-oh. What's that a picture of? That's right, it's a big black bear. A black bear could fit in a couple of these habitats. But I'm going to let you know that a black bear probably would not like to live at the ocean. He may visit the ocean because maybe his habitat could be close to it, but I don't think he'd want to live there for a long time. He could go visit the grassland because he might see an animal hop out into the grassland and may want to go get it, but he probably wouldn't want to live there long term. Black bears like in places where it's nice and cool and shady. Oh, are you thinking what I'm thinking? He might enjoy the river because a black bear would like to eat the fish, but I think he would probably just go visit the river to get his food. So that leaves the last place, a forest. A black bear would probably like to live in a forest, and that forest may have a river going through it. We have a few more. The bald eagle. A bald eagle might visit the ocean. Maybe if the ocean is close to some of these habitats, but he would not like to live there. He likes to make his nest up in a tall tree. He might really like being close to a river because eagles like to eat fish. So an eagle could have his habitat close to a river. He could also have his habitat in the forest because he likes to make his nest in a tree. So I'm going to choose forest right there. Look at that. 3 animals you might find in the forest habitat. Oh, I'm a little sad because we don't have anything for our grasslands. But just wait. What kind of an animal is that? That's right, it's a deer. A deer probably would not be close to the ocean. A deer probably would like to drink from the river. A deer might make its habitat in the grasslands or in the forest. So a deer could probably go in any of these areas. We learned from our book, Animals in Homes, that a deer changes its home. It doesn't have one specific place that it likes to live. It goes and walks during the day, and then at night it will find a place to sleep, and that will be its home. But a deer would like to be in a place that has the temperature that it likes. It would like to be in a place where it has food that it will enjoy. Our grassland here has a little bit of tree covering there, so it might want to live like at night, go and rest in the tree area. So we're going to choose the grassland for our deer. Hey, you guys did a great job picking out habitats for these animals. Thumbs up.
Let's look for some habitats in a fiction story.
We're Going on a Bear Hunt, retold by Michael Rosen, illustrated by Helen Oxenbury. This book is being read with permission by Aladdin Paperbacks. We're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, grass. Long, wavy grass. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a river. A deep, cold river. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Splash, splosh, splash, splosh, splash, splosh. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, mud. Thick, oozy mud. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Squelch, squirch. Squelch, squirch. Squelch, squirch. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Oh no, a forest. A big, dark forest. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Stumble, trip. Stumble, trip. Stumble, trip. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Oh no, a snowstorm. A swirling, whirling snowstorm. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Woo! 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 We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a cave. A narrow, gloomy cave. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. What's that? One shiny wet nose, two big furry ears, two big googly eyes. It's a bear! Quick, back through the cave. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Back through the snowstorm. Woo! Woo! Back through the forest. Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip. Back through the mud. Squelch, squirch, squelch, squirch. Back through the river. Splash, 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 splash. Back through the grass. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. Get to our front door. Open the door. Up the stairs. Oh no, we forgot to shut the door. Back downstairs. Shut the door. Back upstairs. Into the bedroom. Into the bed. Under the covers. We're not going on a bear hunt again. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed the book, We're Going on a Bear Hunt. When you listened to the book, we heard about some different habitats and we saw different habitats too. Look at these bottles. Do these look like some of those habitats? Let's see if we can name them. What about this one? What does that look like? Tall grass. Do you remember what that one was like? Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. What about this one? There are rocks in it and blue water. Yeah, it looks like the river that they crossed. Splash, 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 splash. Ooh, what about this one? Oh, yeah, that looks like mud. Squelch, squirch, squelch, squirch, squelch, squirch. And this one, you have some tree leaves and some sticks. This looks like the forest. Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip. And this one right here, ooh, that looks pretty cold in there. What do you think that looks like? Yeah, maybe a cold area where they're having a snowstorm. Ooh. Let's talk about over, under, around, and through. In our book today, we couldn't go over some things. We couldn't go under some things, so we had to go through them. But we're going to talk about around too. We're going to add that in there. I have my little mouse friend who's going to help me. What? Oh, I'm sure they're glad to see you too. Mousy says he wants to choose a couple of these habitats and go over, under, around them, and then he's going to try and go through them. Okay? Let's choose the grassy land first. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. My friend Mr. Mouse is going to go over. Are you ready? He is. He went over the grassy land. Here he goes. He is going over it. Whoa! Great job, Mousy. Can he go under it? He thinks he can. Do you want to see it? Let's do it. He's going to go under it. Is he under? He is. Good job, Mousy. Can he go around it? He can. He can go all around it. But can he go through it? Oh, he can't because he's in the grassland's in a bottle. He can't go through that bottle. Oh, don't be sad. You did a really good job going over, under, and around it. Oh, you're welcome. You want to choose one more and try it? Okay. You can get a stuffed animal or a puppet if you've got that, and you can practice too. Let's pretend with the river bottle. Okay. Do you have something to pretend with? All right, let's do it. Mousy, I'm going to trip you up a little bit. Can you go under the river? He says he can. Can you make your stuffed animal or whatever you chose go under? Let's do it. Under. Great job. Thank you. Can you go over? Oh, good job. What about through it? Oh, it's okay. He can't go through it. Can you go around it? He can. Look, he can go all around the river bottle. Over, under, and around. But he cannot go through it. You might try this with some of your toys at home. Thanks, Mousy, for helping. Will you come back another time? He said he would. Hey, you've done a great job with going on a bear hunt. Would you like to go on one with me? I love going on a bear hunt. We'll try and make it as close to the book as we can. Now, you're going to need to have your knees because when you walk, you're going to do this. Can you do that with me? We're going on a bear hunt. And then I want you to say it after I say it. Miss Katie, will you say it when the kids are supposed to say it?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. We're going on a bear hunt.
We're going on a bear hunt.
We're gonna catch a big one.
We're gonna catch a big one.
With great big eyes.
With great big eyes.
And a furry little tail.
And a furry little tail.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's tall grassy grass.
It's tall grassy grass.
We can't go over it.
We can't go over it.
We can't go under it.
We can't go under it.
We'll have to walk through it.
We'll have to walk through it.
Swish, swash, swish, swash, swish, swash, swish, swash. We're going on a bear hunt.
We're going on a bear hunt.
We're gonna catch a big one.
We're gonna catch a big one.
With great big eyes.
With great big eyes.
And a furry little tail.
And a furry little tail.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It's a river.
It's a river.
We can't go over it.
We can't go over it.
We can't go under
We
it.
can't go under it.
We'll have to swim across it.
We'll have to swim across it.
Splash, 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 splash. Shake it off. Good job. We're going on a bear hunt.
We're going on a bear hunt.
We're gonna catch a big one.
We're gonna catch a big one.
With great big eyes.
With great big eyes.
And a furry little tail.
And a furry little tail.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It's mud.
It's mud.
It's brown, ooey gooey mud.
Brown, ooey gooey mud.
We can't go over
We
it.
can't go over it.
We can't go under
We
it.
can't go under it.
We'll have to go through it.
We'll have to go through it.
Squelch, squirch, squelch, squirch, squelch, squirch, squelch, squirch.
Ew.
Ew, get that mud off your feet. Okay. Woo. We're going on a bear hunt.
We're going on a bear hunt.
We're gonna catch a big one.
We're gonna catch a big one.
With great big eyes.
With great big eyes.
And a furry little tail.
And a furry little tail.
Oh no,
Oh no.
it's a forest.
It's a forest.
With big tall trees.
Big tall trees.
We can't go over it.
Can't go over it.
We can't go under it.
Can't go under it.
We'll have to walk through it.
We'll have to walk through it.
Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip. Oh, that hurt my knees a little. We're going on a bear hunt.
We're going on a bear hunt.
We're gonna catch a big one.
We're gonna catch a big one.
With great big eyes.
With great big eyes.
And a furry little tail.
And a furry little tail.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's a snowstorm.
It's a snowstorm.
We can't go over
We
it.
can't go over it.
We can't go under
We
it.
can't go under it.
We'll have to walk through
We'll
it.
have to walk through it.
Ooh. 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 We're going on a bear hunt.
We're going on a bear hunt.
We're gonna catch a big
We're
one.
gonna catch a big one.
With great big eyes.
With great big eyes.
And a furry little tail.
And a furry little tail.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's a cave.
It's a cave.
It's a dark cave.
A dark cave.
It's a scary cave.
A scary cave.
We can't go over it.
Can't go over it.
We can't go under it.
Can't go under it.
We'll have to go through it.
We'll have to go through it.
Tip, toe, tip, toe, tip, toe. Bump. Put your hands out. Oh, I feel something wet. Maybe we should get our flashlights out. Did you bring yours? I hope so. Let's get them out. Pull them out of your pocket. Turn them on. Oh, it's a shiny, wet nose. Do you feel it? Go up. Oh, 1, 2. It's 2 furry ears. Put your flashlight up. And 2 googly eyes. It's a bear. Let's run. Tiptoe, 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 tiptoe. We've got to go home quick. Tiptoe, 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 tiptoe. Oh, it's the cold, cold snow. Woo! Woo! It's the dark forest. Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip. Oh, it's the icky mud. Squelch, squirt, squelch, squirt, squelch, squirt. Gross, run! It's the river. Splish, splash, splosh, splish, splash, splosh. Oh, run! It's the tall grassy weeds. Swishy, splashy, swishy, splashy, swishy, splashy. Do you see it? Keep running, running. Oh, there's our house. Open the door. And run. Go up the stairs and get in your bed. Did anybody shut the door? Run back downstairs. Quick, shut the door. Boom. Run back upstairs. Get under your covers. We went on a bear hunt.
We went on a bear hunt.
And we weren't afraid.
And we weren't afraid.
Thanks for going with me, friends.
Part 2. Habitats around us. Okay, so we've learned a lot about habitats and what they are. The natural home of a plant or an animal. But now it's time to talk about the habitats that we see around us where we live.
But wait a minute. Where exactly are we?
I'm glad you asked because I brought a cool tool to help us find out where we are.
Oh.
Do you know what this is called? That's right, it's a globe. I'm gonna bring it closer so you can see it and we can explore it a little more. A globe is a picture of the planet Earth that somebody drew and put onto this sphere. Remember, a sphere is a shape kind of like that blue ball we looked at a couple weeks ago. Now, if you look at the globe, you'll see a couple different things. First off, there's a lot of this color right here. Lots of blue. The blue shows where the oceans are, and we have a lot of ocean on Earth. Now, you'll see some other spots that have lots of colors on them. This is the land. Now, the ground isn't really pink or orange or yellow or whatever. The colors just show where different countries are. That way, it's easy for somebody looking at the globe to figure out where they are. Now, let's find our country. We live in the United States, which is right here in North America. So we have the continent of North America here. We've got South America down here. And inside of North America, you see the United States. It's the one right here with all of these colors because the United States is made up of 50 different states. That's all these little color spots. Let's see if we can find the state that we live in. Do you know what state we live in? That's right. We're looking for Alabama. Let's see if we can find it. That's right, it's that one right there. Good job.
Green.
It's the green one right here. So I'm gonna keep my finger on this green one and then I'm gonna pull the globe back. Do you see how teeny tiny Alabama looks on the globe? It's kind of hard to see anything. You have to look really, really close. So Miss Sarah actually brought something else we can use to explore the region we live in. What did you bring?
Miss Katie, I've brought 2 different maps today. Will you help me with these?
Yes, I'm gonna hold up this map so they can see it really closely. This is that state we were just looking at on the globe.
A map is the drawing of the Earth's surface. This is a map of Alabama. This map shows the 3 geographic regions of Alabama. The bottom of the state is the coastal region. It's close to the ocean down here. This area is warm, it has sandy soil, and the rains come and go quickly and often because it is so close to the ocean. What kind of animals might live in the coastal area? I heard fish, maybe a dolphin, a whale might live down in the ocean. There are also birds that like to live here because they like to eat the fish. The orange area is in the eastern part of Alabama. This area is described as the foot of the mountains with forests and rocks and pine trees. It's also farther away from the equator, so it'll be a little bit cooler than the coastal area. The green area is the western part of Alabama. Some of this area has springs, which is water that flows up from the ground. And it has caves, some has rocky soil, and some of it has grassy land and farmland. The map with the rivers and the bodies of water, this one, shows us that there are many places where fish can live. Animals can eat fish and get water from the lakes and rivers and ponds. Do you see all the rivers coming through here? There's Lake Martin. Some of our friends like to go there. Now, we live in the county called Lee County. Lee County is right there. It's almost pointing to it. If you look on this map, we are right here. The neat thing about Lee County is that it is next to a coastal county. It's also next to the Upper Plains County, and it's actually in the mountainous area. So Lee County has a lot of different habitats in one county.
If you want to go outside and check out some of the habitats around you, then stay tuned because Miss Sarah's going to teach us how to make some of these. They're binoculars. People use them to look inside and see things that are far away, and it helps you focus your attention on what you're looking at. So stay tuned. She's going to teach us how to make some out of some paper towel tubes. Art Extension, binoculars. Materials, paper towel tube, construction paper, hole puncher, string, tape or stapler.
Hey friends, welcome back. We're going to make some binoculars today, and you may think, what in the world are binoculars? Let me show you some. When we go to the beach, I like to take binoculars with me, and that's what these are. Binoculars help you to see things that are far away. You can see them up close. So you put them on your eyes like this, and you look around, and you can see things up close. Now you get to make your own binoculars today, and here's how you can do it. You can use a paper towel tube, or you can use toilet paper tubes just like this. Make sure you ask an adult to help you to find some of these. They may want to clean them a little bit, maybe spray them with some cleaner and put them outside for a while and let them dry before you use them. A paper towel tube, you wouldn't really have to do that, but with toilet paper tubes, you may choose to do that. You can use tape, or you can use a stapler or a hot glue gun. I'm going to show you right now how to tape these together. So you'll want to take them like this, put tape right there and put tape right there, and tape them together. You can use masking tape, or this is Scotch tape, which is just a clear tape. There's some blue tape you might choose to use. And you know what, when you get done with that, you might take some of this blue tape. You can even use it to decorate. Look at that. I just took a piece of it and wrapped it right around there because I'm going to use that tape to decorate. While you're looking around at home for some things that you might use, you might find some stickers that you can put on there, or you might want to color it with crayons or with markers. It's really up to you and what you find around your house to decorate with. After you've got your binoculars decorated to where you want them, you'll need to find something to make your straps with. See how my binoculars have straps right here? That way I don't have to hold them with my hands and I can walk around. At my house, I had some yarn. You might use yarn or string or ribbon, but once again, you need to ask an adult what you can use. Take that yarn and cut it. This is kind of trial and error because you may not get the right amount. You might get too much, you might get too little, so you may have to measure and try again. If yours happened to be too short, you might take that short piece and pull it out and measure it a little longer and cut another piece. Now, how am I going to get this on here? Well, I'm going to use a hole punch. So you take the hole punch, punch a hole on one side, and I'm going to punch mine through that tape right there because that'll make that hole a little bit stronger. And punch it right there. Take that yarn that was cut, kind of, and string it through. Go from the inside to the outside, bring it up to the top like that, and just tie a knot. Have you tied a knot with your shoes before? Maybe your shoestrings? This is a knot too. So I do 2 knots. And then I'm going to go over to the other side, go through the inside, and tie that knot. 1, 2. Now, I may not like these little strings hanging down, so I'm going to cut those because I don't want them to accidentally get in my eye while I'm observing. Now, mine are not too decorative, but that's okay. I might make another pair later and decorate those. There are my binoculars. They work pretty good. They help me to focus and see things. Another idea for binoculars is just like fun cardstock. I had some for my scrapbook supplies. Now this is a time when I wish I had my hot glue gun or my stapler ready because I would probably staple them first. And the tricky part is making them the same size. So I'd probably use one, make it, and then put the other around it so that I'll have 2 that are the same size. So you don't want one eye bigger than the other. Put them together and then you have some sparkly ones. Those are kind of cute too. Have fun making your binoculars. Use different arts and crafts that you have at home. I can't wait to see what yours look like. You might even send me a picture of it. I'd love to see you using them outside. So thanks and have fun.
Animals at Home by David Locke. This book was read with permission from Penguin Random House. Animals at Home. What is your home like? Is it cozy and dry? Animal homes are all shapes and sizes. They keep animals and their babies safe and warm. Hermit crab shell, rabbit warren, stork nest. Some animals build their own homes. Many birds make nests. Some use mud, twigs, or grass. Others peck out holes in trees. They build their homes using only their beaks. Weaver bird nest, oven bird nest. Thousands of termites work together to build a home. Their mound is very strong and it can be very tall. Inside, the tunnels lead to many arch-shaped rooms, food stores, nursery. Paper wasps collect wood, and they chew it into a pulp. The wasp then use this pulp to make their nest. The queen wasp lays her eggs inside the nest's 6-sided cells. Some animals burrow under the ground. Moles dig their tunnels using their sharp front claws. They push the soil away, making hills above the ground. They eat the worms and insects that fall into their tunnels. Beavers build their homes by weaving sticks together with their feet. Their large homes are called lodges. The beavers get in and out of the lodge through an underwater entrance. Lodge. Some animals live in shells. Tortoises and snails can curl up inside their shells. The shells get bigger as the animals grow. Shell. Some insects, like silk moths, make their own silk threads. They weave the silk around themselves to make cocoons. Their homes keep them safe as they change shape and grow wings. Cocoons. Spiders can make silk too. They use it to make their homes. Some silk spiders make webs. They eat the insects that get stuck to the strong, sticky silk. Other spiders build silk-lined burrows with a hidden trapdoor. Trapdoor spider burrow. Web. Honeybees make beeswax in their bodies. They use it to make their beehive. There are many six-sided cells inside the hive. Honey is stored in some cells, and the bees' young live in the others. Honey, bee larvae. Piles of leaves, rotting logs, and compost heaps may not seem like good places to make a home, but many small animals feed and live in these warm, damp places. Hedgehog, beetle, ant, toad. Starfish, crabs, and some small fish make their homes in tide pools. They live in the water that collects between the rocks on the seashore. Shellfish and anemones cling to the rocks. Anemone, limpet. Trees are homes for many animals. Birds make nests in the branches. Squirrels build homes called drays in the tree trunk. Insects live in the bark or on the leaves. Badgers build burrows called setts among the roots. A dray. We are not the only ones who live in our dry, cozy houses. Bats may sleep in the attic. Tiny bugs live in the carpets and the furniture. We all want a warm home with food nearby. Glossary. Cocoon, a silk-wrapped case made by an insect. Dray, a squirrel's nest. Lodge, a beaver's home. Shell, a hard covering on an animal's back. Web, a spider's home made from its silk.
All right, we've looked up, we've looked down, and we've looked all around and learned about lots of different habitats today. But did you know you can take your binoculars outside and see a habitat right outside your door?
No way.
Let's go.
Okay.
1 square foot STEM observation.
Hey friends! Okay, I am outside working on this experiment, which is called 1 square foot, and I'm really quite excited because I didn't realize there was going to be so much fun stuff in this square foot that I chose. So I am going to show you some of the things that I've found and encourage you to try this at home. Okay, so I'm going to flip my phone around. Okay, I chose a square foot kind of on the edge of our yard. So we have grass here, some what they call sod, and then I thought it was kind of cool because we had some rocks and some sticks, some weeds, and then as I was looking down here, I saw an ant a minute ago, which was very cool. So this is a habitat for an ant. These plants, this is also a habitat for them as well. They grow pretty well here. You can see that I have some shadows from the trees, and I have sunshine. It's probably about 2:30 in the afternoon on a sunny day. So do you see any ants in here? They may have all gone away because they saw me coming. But I want you to look down here. This right in here, those are some seeds from a tree that blow. And then do you see these little piles, that little pile right there? Right there, yeah, right there. That's called scat. And that is either worm poop or it could be ant poop, but they call that scat. So I feel really smart because I'm knowing these words. A stick that is blown in, I'm going to put that back. And here's a rock too. This looks more just like concrete. So probably from when they were building my house, it just got put out here. Oh, there's an ant. Do you see it? Ah! There he is. Very cool. Okay, I'm gonna put the rock back. Try not to smush him gently, so because he may like to hide under that rock. So this is a habitat for an ant. This is really cool. So I'm gonna go to another place in my yard and make a 1 square foot so that I can observe that. But before I do that, I am going to write down some of the things that I saw.
All right, we hope you had a great time exploring the habitats in your backyard. And you probably did a lot of looking kind of like this, down at the ground. But did you know that there are also some habitats that are underneath the ground? Take a look at this image right here.
Animals can be found under the ground. An armadillo makes its home under the ground. A mouse can make its home under the ground. A rabbit can make its home under the ground. A skunk can. So can a fox. And also a badger. Do you see any other animals? Yeah, the ants do. And then a groundhog. You know what? You might want to make one of these so that you can watch worms under the ground. This is a worm watch, and we have directions on how to make a worm watch, and you can make your very own. I hope that you do, and then maybe you can send us a picture of your worm watch.
STEM experiment. Worm watch. Materials: empty jar, lid with holes, soil/dirt, sand, fruit and vegetable peelings.
Making an earthworm habitat. You're going to need a container. Now, I found a couple inside. This one was that plastic pretzel container. And then this one was a jar that used to have spaghetti sauce in it. I cleaned the jar out with spaghetti sauce and the pretzel one and decided that the spaghetti sauce container would be a better worm habitat, mainly because it's smaller. I'll be able to see the earthworms a little bit better in it. That was pretty much my main reasoning. So prepping my jar, I put a little bit of sand in the bottom, and then I just put dirt in my jar. Took my shovel and I went to find some worms. And you may say, hey, Miss Sarah, how did you find your worms? Well, I looked for castings. Castings is another word for worm waste or worm poop. And I'll show you in another little video how we found worm castings. When I'm looking for worm castings, I like to look just basically in the dirt. So let's get down a little bit closer and look around. Do you see anything different in here in the dirt? Saw an ant. Worm castings is like little mountains of dirt piled up, and usually the castings are kind of round. That's castings, but I don't think it's worm castings. I think that's maybe ant castings, but I'm not sure. It's kind of small. I'm looking. I'm gonna move a little bit this way. Careful where you walk. Ah, I see some now. Look closely here. See this in here? That right there, and this right here, that's worm casting. Under here, where the dirt looks a little different, that's worm casting. So in just a second, I'm going to take my shovel and I'm just going to kind of dig gently and kind of turn up the soil. Here's a little bit more right there. And I'm going to see if I can find any more worms to go in our worm habitat. Tucker likes to help me look for worms. He thinks he's helping when he digs in the grass. Are you having fun? He's having a lot of fun. Remember I said I was just going to dig gently? This is what it looks like. Dig a little bit because I don't want to hurt any worms that are in there. Once I've dug a little bit and broken up the soil, I'm going to reach in there with my hand and see if I find any little wormies. Look carefully. What else do you see in here? No worms here. See some sticks and root. A root right there. So I may cover that back up. Some worm will be happy I did that because make it easier for them to get around. And then I'm going to dig over here a little bit, break up a little bit more soil. Let's see in here. You see it? Yay! Now, my problem is I didn't bring my jar over. So I'm going to pick him up. I'm so excited because I found another one. Okay, I'm going to put him in the habitat, so that means I'll have 3 worms. Yay! How fun. I put some sand in the bottom of my jar, and then I just went and found dirt, and I found some of the dirt right where my little worm was. Now, I showed you one of my worms. Oops, he doesn't care, he's a dirt worm. I showed you I showed you one of my worms, but there are actually 2 inside this jar. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna have my husband poke a few holes in the lid of my jar so we can keep airflow in there. And I'm not even probably gonna put it on too tight. Can you see my little worm friend in there? It's the little pink part. I'm gonna rest my camera on there so it doesn't shake. Do you see him? Maybe I can poke him and get him to move a teeny bit. Ah, right in there. Now do you see him? That little pink part is my earthworm. He's moving a little bit. I don't even know if he knows he's in a different place yet. Okay, friends, this is our worm habitat. I just put some food in it. I put some sweet potato peelings in there, and I also put some apple peelings in there, and I added a little bit of water. So I took water and I put it in a bowl, and I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons of water. Count them with me. 1, do you see it go down the side of the jar? 2, ooh, that looks great. I think I'm gonna add this next one over here. 3, because I want to make sure that my worms have the things that they need to continue living. They need food, water, a place to live, soil, and they're gonna need air. So I'm gonna take a lid and I'm gonna poke holes in it and put it on top so that they can continue to get air to breathe. Okay, friends, I've got the holes poked in the top of my jar so our worms can get air to breathe. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this paper and I'm gonna wrap it around my jar. And I'm doing that because I want it to be really, really dark for those little worms. What do worms do when they're in the ground outside? Well, they wiggle, wiggle, wiggle around in that dirt. And as they're wiggling around in the dirt, they make tunnels. And they also turn the dirt, and they turn it and turn it. And when you turn dirt or soil, it's called aerating. And it's really good for the ground. It's good for the dirt, it's good for plants because it makes it easier for them to grow. So worms are very important for our habitats because they aerate the soil, and they also eat food and waste scraps that people leave out there. Some people have a compost bin where they take their food waste and they put it out in there for worms to eat. And then they replace the nutrients in the soil with their castings. So I'm gonna wrap this up for tonight, and then we'll take a look at it tomorrow and see if those little worms have made any tunnels
or aerated the soil in our jar.
All right, we've been talking about change for a long time, but today we're talking about changing habitats. Did you know that there are ways that we can change habitats to help plants and animals? We can do some things to help out their habitats to help them live better. Let's look at some of those things that we can do. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Whoa! Wow, that was quick. I
was
like
quick.
it. I like how we can come out and just put all this stuff in the trash. That's awesome.
Whoa. You're
Wait.
going to put that in the trash?
I am, because I'm helping the world by not littering.
Okay, not littering is important, but wait, that reminds me of another way we can help habitats out. We can recycle things.
Recycle.
Yes.
Oh.
So I think if it's plastic and cardboard and it's something that can be used again, you can put it in the recycle.
Awesome. Cardboard.
Okay.
Cardboard.
Yep.
And we had pizza box.
Hold on this cardboard.
No pizza box?
Well, we've
It's
got to
cardboard.
check. We got to check the inside. Oh, yeah. Can you see what's inside this box? Oh, I still smell the pizza.
Yeah.
It's all greasy and it has some cheese and stuff left over, so we can't use this again to recycle. So this one will have to go in the trash.
You know, it says it right here. If it has food on it, you're supposed to rinse your cans, rinse your plastics. But I can't rinse that because it's stuck on there. So,
Right.
oh, bummer, we got to throw that one away. But hey, good to know.
So that's one way we can help habitats. We can make sure we recycle. And the second way is to make sure that if you see any litter on the ground, you pick it up and make sure that you don't litter yourself. Ready? Let's go. Woo!
Oh, when we went walking the other night, I saw this thing. And I want to show it to you because I really want to take it to my classroom because I think the kids are going to love it for habitat.
Okay, what is it?
It's this bird's nest right here. So I thought if I just went ahead and picked it and took it, I could take it to school and they would love it.
Well, I really like the bird's nest and it's super cool, but that reminds me of way number 3 that we can help change and protect habitats. If you see a habitat, make sure that you don't change it yourself. This bird's nest is really cool, but if we move it, the bird may not come back and it might not be a safe place for the birds anymore. But how about I bring the camera close so they can see it?
Oh, that's a great idea. We can take a picture of it and
Yes.
show it to them.
But we don't want to change the environment. We want to keep it the same for that bird.
Isn't it
So we
beautiful?
can keep it safe. So
Safe
that's
space.
way number 3 we can help protect environments is make sure if you see an environment or a habitat that you don't change it, leave it the same for those animals.
Well, are there other ways that we can help our environment and the habitats around us?
There sure are. I'm glad you asked. Are you ready?
Yes.
Set. Let's go. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna come over here. Hey, what are you gonna do with the shovel? What's the shovel for?
Oh, I'm going to add to my garden. I'm planting some plants that I got at the store today.
Wow, those are really pretty.
Aren't they pretty? These are called phlox, and they're going to come back every year, and in the spring they'll bloom. So I won't have to buy plants every year. They'll just come back every year.
That's pretty cool. And it reminds me of way number 4 that we can help habitats. When we plant flowers and we plant plants, we're helping out the habitat around it.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool. Ready? Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Whoa! Man, where are we now?
Oh, the garden. Remember
Yes.
we planted that tomato plant?
Do you remember? Let's check it out.
I'm getting hungry too, so I'm excited. Oh, look. We've already got some little baby tomatoes on there.
You guys have got to see these little baby tomatoes.
You know, we can help our environment and our habitat by growing different vegetables and plants. You see them right there? Maybe come around on my side. Aren't they cool? They're not quite ready to pick yet. They're a little green, so they'll turn a little yellow and then red, and then they'll be ready to eat.
In fact, that reminds me of the next way that we can help habitats, growing a garden. You can plant plants and flowers like we already said, but growing a garden also helps create habitats too.
I bet we'll even have some bunnies coming over and trying to get my tomatoes.
We might. All right, let's see where we go next. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Whew. Man, where are we this time?
Well, we're in the yard across the street, and I just wanted to show you this way that you can help the birds and the animals in your habitat.
Okay, let's check it out.
This is called a bird bath. Birds can come and take baths in it. You might see them in here getting the dirt and dust off their wings. They can also drink the water in the bird bath. So you can help by putting a bird bath in your yard too.
Very fun. Okay, I think we've got one more way we can help habitats. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go check it out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're back in the side yard.
Yeah. Hey, I want to show you something that I just put out.
Okay, let's see.
Take a look at this. This is called a bird feeder. I put some bird seed in here, and then you see these little places. The birds can stand on them, and there's little holes in here, and they'll get the bird seed out of there. See that? This is another way that you can help your environment by feeding some of the animals that are around in your habitat.
That's awesome.
You know, some people may not be able to get one of these right now, so I'm going to show you and our friends at home how to make a bird feeder with things that you may have around your house. So why don't you meet me back inside?
Sounds like fun. Let's do it. Okay.
Art Extension, Bird Feeder. Materials: pine cone, peanut butter, bird seed, string, scissors, container.
Hey friends, welcome back. We just got done looking at some of the things that we can do to help the habitats around us. The last thing we talked about was making a bird feeder. We used the bird feeder that was outside. I bought it at a store, but you can make your own bird feeder using the things that you have at home. Here are some things you're going to need: peanut butter, yarn or string, a pair of scissors, bird seed, and some pine cones. I picked these up when I was on a walk last night, and I brought them back inside so we can make our own. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the peanut butter. I've got 2 little butter knives, and we're going to spread the peanut butter. Choose your pine cone. Choose it wisely. Okay. We're going to spread the peanut butter on the pine cones. You kind of want to use a whole bunch. Now, I put my peanut butter in a separate dish because you don't want to double dip with the pine cone in your peanut butter.
Ugh.
Yeah, that would be kind of gross. So I put it in a little bowl. Great job. I'm going to try and get it way in there, but I'm also going to leave a good amount on the outside. Now, I'm going to leave a little bit of the top clear because that's where I am going to tie my yarn. Okay, are you about done?
I think I'm good.
Okay, now here's the fun part. Rock and roll your pine cones. Roll the pine cone in the bird seed. That bird seed should be sticking on that peanut butter.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, it's so cute. Then you're gonna need to take some yarn. That's probably about 15 or 16 inches right there. And you're gonna tie it around the top. Oh, thanks. I already put that. That's a good idea. Now, if you don't have a pan, you could put your stuff in a box, your bird seed. So, this could be a little tricky. If you need help from an adult, make sure you ask. Ready? Whoa, perfect. 2 little knots. And it's okay if you get peanut butter on your yarn. How is it?
Wow.
Awesome. Now I'm going to take these and put them pretty much close to where I found the pine cones. Hang them on a tree and watch the animals, the birds, come and eat that bird seed.
Love it. That's so fun.
Yeah, so you can make these at home. I've also seen friends use paper towel tubes and put peanut butter on it. I've seen people take old bread and they toasted it in the toaster and then put peanut butter on it. Birds love all those. And I've seen people do oranges. So after you've eaten the orange out of the inside of an orange, then you have the half of the skin, you can put some peanut butter and bird seed on that too. The birds love it. So there are lots of different ways that you can make bird feeders at home. Thanks a lot.
Let's review.
Hey friends, thanks for hanging out with us today. We spent a lot of time learning about what a habitat is.
A habitat is the natural home of a plant or an animal.
Make sure that you try some of these fun activities, art projects, STEM experiments, and listen to these read-alouds at home. Remember, you can always find all of these resources at our website, auburndayschool.com. And make sure that if you do any of these cool things, take a picture and upload it and share it on our Facebook page as well.
Thanks for tuning in.